Hello everyone, and I'm Pragya Panchanatan, and I welcome you to my podcast Passion Pragya, where I talk with some passionate, highly acclaimed professionals about various aspects of life. No one can defeat a person who is determined not to give up in life. Our today's guest is a living example of this quote from our mom. He is a banker, a Guinness World Record holder, a Masala Award winner for the most inspirational personality, Spirit of the Sport Award winner, and leadership icon by GMS NMS, and also a Tedx speaker multiple times and has been awarded at the International Designer League 2022 and also the first person for first people of determination in UAE to be a level 3 personal trainer. Wow, he seems to be like a superhero in the form of a common person. So let me introduce Mr. Sujith Varghese to you. I welcome Mr. Sujith you to my podcast Passion Pragya.
Thank you, Pragya. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast.
Thank you. So let's begin now. You've had an incredible journey of determination, resilience, and endurance. Not to give up no matter what life throws at you. And I'm so inspired by your story. So I would like to request you to please share your story, how you started, your story with our audience.
Well, I'm born and raised in Dubai. I've been here most of my life, and I did about 3 years of my schooling in India, in Kerala, where I'm from, and about 3 years in Bangalore, where I did my bachelor's in commerce. So in Bangalore, a life-changing incident happened to me. I met with a motorcycle accident, and and then for the next about 3 years, I spent in hospitals and rehabilitation centers. And I think that was the biggest moment of my life where I had a lot of realizations, a lot of changes, and probably which laid the foundation for what I have built today. So it's been a journey. It's been a fantastic journey, and it's been a good 31 years of a journey.
It's like a movie, as you mentioned, like once you should not give up in life. Like somebody should learn how to deal with failures and challenges, and that's more important than anything. And next, what
Completely,
was
yeah,
the
true, yeah, because it's like a lot of people when they give up initially at very little, there's no progress, and you have a lot of people around you when you see them, they're like, oh no, it's so difficult for me, I can't do it. I do before when they even hear a plan, they say I can't do it, and they have already programmed their mind when they heard something without even trying. They say that's no, it's not possible, So it's important for people to understand that problems are what you term as a problem.
yeah,
If you're able to figure something out, that's not a problem.
yeah, right, that's interesting. What was the lowest point in your life, and how did you gather the courage to be the light for yourself in dark times?
Lowest point of my life would definitely be when I was in India, when I was in Kerala, when the accident happened, and I think a couple of months after that, if I'm not wrong, it was uh, about 6 to 8 months after that is when, because everything has a sequence, everything has a phase. So during, I think, after 8 months is when I was like, now everything is settled. I was out of hospitals, I was back at home, and then when reality hits you, probably that's when I had a lot of reflection, and that's when I think I was at my lowest of points, and it was which went on for a couple of months, and it's at that moment is when is at that phase is when I had to make certain decisions on changing my life, because when you understand that, see, at a certain age, till a certain age, a person is un- by default knowing that they are growing up, and no matter what they do, there are people to protect them and take care of them. Probably that happens till your 12th or even maybe your college. But after your college, when you get into the real world, start making some money, start getting a job, start being more independent, is when you realize that you have to take care of your own self. So for me, that hit came very differently. So when I understood doctors couldn't help me, parents couldn't help me, because everyone is still trying to figure out the situation. And that's when I had to take matters in my own hand. And me making a choice, a decision that I'm going to change my life when I was at the lowest of my points with all the odds against me, which seemed like that, that was a big risk I had to take. That was a big chance I had to take, but taking that chance was the best decision I ever made.
That's like amazing how you did it. And I also said it once, when we hit the bottom of like our life, when we feel there's nothing left to lose anymore, the only way is going up, like to face it. So when there's something bad in our life, when there's a low part in our life, we should find a bigger strength or purpose. And the way you endured lows in your life is amazing.
Thank you.
Whilst regaining yourself from the unfortunate event, what was the most challenging aspect? Was it physical or mental? And how did you do it?
Earlier, what you just said, I wanted to say something. I read this quote once, which you said, "It's all right to fall down, but as long as you're falling down, make sure you're falling on your back, so that you're still able to look up."
Wow.
So I remembered from what you just said. But yes, coming back to the question that you just asked, what was it? Was it physical or mental? It was almost never physical. It was always I mean, physical definitely is a part of it, but the mental aspect was the biggest challenging. And it's not like, understand something about how mental thing works. Every challenge that you get and you surpass it, you definitely do become stronger, you definitely progress forward. But the more stronger you are, the next challenge or the next hit that comes your way is even more powerful, and it's
Yeah.
even more powerful, and that never just ends. That's the way life is. So just because I have probably fought a lot of my obstacles in my life, mentally and physically, even the challenges I get today is of that level of intensity. So it was always, initially it was always figuring it out, that I have to. So when I made a choice, I made a clear choice. The first decision that changed my mindset, I'll tell you, Pragya, was when I was in Kerala and I was getting all these limitations placed on me, people telling me, you cannot do this, you will not be able to go out by yourself, you'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. All these things being said to me, I only had one wish, was to sleep in my room, which was on the first floor in my house. And we did not have a lift. And everyone is like, Sujit, it's not possible to physically carry a 70, 75-year-old guy, sorry, 75 kilo guy above an entire staircase. And I said, no, I have to do it. And I asked my mom. The first day she said, not possible. Second day, not possible. Third day, I got so angry that I wheeled myself to the end of the stairs, and I transferred from my wheelchair to the stair, and I picked myself up doing backhand push-ups all the way 18 steps up. And when I got on top, from the floor, I moved to a sofa, and from sofa to my bed, sorry, sofa to my chair, and I went to my room. And I did that every day. In the morning, I used to come back down, and night, I used to climb myself. So the idea for me, that's when it hit me for the first time. Two things. Number one, everyone told me it's impossible to go up that staircase, by yourself, because we don't have a lift and we can't break the entire house to create a lift right now. So I thought, it hit me was, number one, everyone told it's impossible because in their logical minds, when a problem arised on how you would solve this, everyone is like, no, you need to walk through a stairs to get upstairs. There is no other way, or somebody has to carry you. Now, that was the first thing I understood. People tell you that it's not possible because in their minds, they are limited by it. Doesn't mean it's not possible for you. So that was
Yeah.
the first thing that hit me. Second thing, what hit me was that just because your goal might seem a little off track, you never change the goal. Change the path, change the route you're taking to it. People always thought about running up a stairs, walking up a stairs, or building a lift or someone carrying you. I crawled by doing backhand push-ups above a staircase. Method was not the most conventional for everyone, but did I get to my goal? That's what mattered to me. So these two big realizations, especially where people tell you something is not possible because in their mind they already said it's not possible. So I think, the world around you, when you try to do something great, when you try to do something big, when you try to do something different, which is a risky take, a lot of people will tell you that it's not possible. That's because in their heads it's too scary. Doesn't mean it has to be for you. So that was my attitude at that time. So surpassing that is what. So when I did the first thing, I got my confidence to do the second one. I'm like, okay, now maybe let me try going to the gym. And going to the gym was very scary. I'll tell you why. Because at that time, the control I had on my body was very limited. If I was not holding on to something, it would just fall off my chair. So at that risk, I went to a gym, and going to the gym transformed my life. It built my confidence. It gave me a little bit more confidence to do something next, which was start going out by myself. And I did that, and then I started speaking, and then it was just one to the other. And today I'm living by myself. I'm in a wheelchair, but I literally live. I do my cooking, I do my cleaning, I do my every single thing I have to do. So it's one step at a time. You beat one level, you go to the next level. It gives you a little bit more confidence. It gives you a little bit more confidence. But what matters is the choices that you make initially, when you feel, when you're trying to do something and not get shunned by the people that telling you it's not possible.
That, that's so inspiring. That's brilliantly explained. And also, I like the part where you said that now you can go out, you can do anything by yourself. So before you were dependent and now you're independent because you went further, you didn't give up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. And also, we do not realize how far we have come until we look back about the things we've done. So I'm curious to know, how do you feel when you look back in your life, and that you've come so far? How do you feel about that?
I feel great on how far I've come. But if you ask me personally, I would never see it unless someone shows it to me now and then. I'll tell you why, what that is. Everything I've done in terms of an achievement in my past, that is in my past. I mean, it's done. Even my Guinness World Record, I'm very privileged to have one. But right after the Guinness World Record, there was a lot of hype of like 2 months where I was doing shoots and interviews back to back. But after that, for me, it's not like my heart got filled forever for the rest of my life because I got a Guinness World Record or all the awards that you can see in the back. For me, it is like, now what next? So I think I've noticed that from the past couple of years that I would probably never be satisfied in reaching my full potential, because I would never reach my full potential, but I will be striving till the very last day I'm on this earth to reach my full potential, because I have understood what a person can do, an individual, any man, woman, or individual can do with their mindset and the tools, that the basic tools that's given to them. And it's phenomenal. But 90% of the people don't realize how phenomenal they are. Now, why adversities are important? Adversities, when it's placed in your life, is an opportunity for you to build or break.
Yeah.
So champions are the ones who build, and the people who fail and reflect back and say, in 2017, 19, I had an opportunity, but I didn't take it because of this excuse. Everyone can have excuses, whether it may be, now going into a little bit depth of this conversation. Everyone can have reasons like, my back is hurting, something is wrong with my in my family. There is a million of excuses, but there are people out there who are blank to these excuses. I had to be that person at certain phases of my life, like no matter what. Like, I have gone to the gym for, let me give you an example on the mindset I'm saying. I've gone to the gym. I've had dumbbells fall on my hands. I have fell in the gym. I've had my hand being slightly cut because of dumbbells and bleeding, and I couldn't even wheel myself properly. I was in a surgery. I mean, these are different examples. Okay, I don't want you to be scared, but I'll tell you how. But still, 2 weeks later, I'm back in the gym again. I had a surgery. I had an extra tube that was attached to my lower stomach. For the discharge after the surgery. I have carried that entire device and gone to the gym to work out. So for me, and the people around me were looking like, is he even real? But for me, it's mindset that I'm going to do. I have a friend of mine, Sofia Delvara, and she has said something, and I remember, I always catch it now. She's like, you can never, you have a non-negotiables. That means the 5 things that you have to do in a day: before the sun sets, after the sunset, doesn't matter, but make sure you do it.
Wow. That.
So that's a mindset all about.
Wow. So, based on this, I also have something I want to say. So, when I started horse riding, I used to look at other riders who are doing high jumps and all, and now I'm doing it. And then when I look back, I see that I've been doing it for 2 years, and I thought, oh, I've been doing it for little time, but I've actually been seeing what I'm doing, and it's amazing. So sometimes we surprise ourselves with how far we have come by taking one step constantly. And my mom always says that we conquered the mountain one step at a time. So the way you conquered your mountain, your mountains is like truly inspirational. Going one step at a time.
100%.
Yeah. So if I have a magical wand through which you can send messages to anyone and everyone on this planet, if you could send a message to every human, what would the message be?
It's really not that hard, guys. Don't let the world tell you it's hard. Believe. I would say believe. If I had one message, I would say really believe in yourself. Like people would think you're crazy.
Wow.
Believe. I know it's a very commonly used line, but people don't understand the gravity of what I'm saying. I'm saying just believe in yourself that you can be superhuman and that you can do anything and everything that you wish to. You have to soul core believe it and safeguard it and work on it. And I promise you, the changes that will happen in your life, your future self will thank you for what you have done at whichever age you are right now. you know so I think the foundation, for me, the foundation was laid when I probably hit one of the biggest adversities in my life. you know and that's when I had to believe in myself more than ever. It gave me that space to, are you going to believe in yourself, or are you going to allow people to tell you what you have to do for the rest of your
Yes.
life? And I chose the first one. So yeah, that definitely would be my message to the world out there.
That is so incredible. I love it. And I like the part where you said that you had two options, one to believe in yourself, or second to let people tell you what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
The first one is better because when you believe in yourself, you can get somewhere, you can reach a goal. But when people say what you're doing, you don't feel happy with the goal you're having.
Yeah, for sure. And you'll always have people telling you it's not possible or this is the only way to do it. Great
Yeah.
people, I think, who have done great things in life have always gone the other road, taken a chance. And unless you take one, even if you fail, you never really lose. Even a failure is always a lesson to be better. And so in future, then you are this person that can handle and manage anything and everything that you want. But it has to build you such a way.
Wow. So when people ask me, what are you? When they ask me, what am I? It's quite thought provoking because, for especially because of me, I do a lot of interesting things. I do a lot of things like horse riding, keynote speaking, music, boxing, and much more. So when you do so many things in life, it resonates somewhere a bit with me. So I would like you to share what a million things you do and what inspires you to do so.
What inspires me to, so I'm driven by time. What I mean by that, it scares me. Meaning, I feel every day I wake up with a lot of gratitude. The first words that come out of my mouth always, every single day, no matter what it is thank you for this day. Thank you, God, for this day. So I wake up with a lot of gratitude. And morning, I practice this self love sort of process that I have. And the attitude, so what I meant by time is everyone has 24 hours. Your next 24 hours are not guaranteed. That is the reality of the world. So for me, when I have the 24 hours, I want to use my 24 hours to the best in the things that I want my life to revolve around. Now, something that gives me fire is definitely from all the adversities. I've built this far. Like, if back 10 years back, people would never imagine me in this position from where I have come. And people have seen me back in 10 years, they would never imagine I would be, forget what all this, I would never be able just to be by myself or go out of my house by myself. And I mean, that's all in the past, right? And so that drives me. It just drives me to be better. And when I have seen myself grow and the impact that I have made in society and the people around me, and the impact is all, I'm just telling them, you can do the same thing. I mean, look at me. I'm doing this in a wheelchair, which is still a level of disadvantage I have. And I'm still able to do it. And I'm carrying the confidence like Alexander the Great. I'm mad. My confidence level is off the roof. And I genuinely believe it. You put me in a room with 15 people, with probably one of the few best people in the world, you can say, but I will still tell you my confidence is going to match up theirs, or if not greater. But that's the level of belief and self confidence and what I have. So I'm very driven by time. I'm very driven to make it in life for myself, for my family. And another thing I have written down that's a constant reminder for me in my room. I have a small white board where it's written 10 points, and it's constant. It never changes. And I've written 10 things that I fight for. And I've written over the 10 points the reasons what I personally fight for in my life. So it's always just to be better to give. So if I believe this rule, if I am better in a very good position, the people around me are also going to be in that same position. So if I make it, it's like my entire family and my entire crew makes it as well.
This is interesting, and so many possibilities open up when we give ourselves freedom to do what we want to basically grow further, and then rather than just limiting ourselves with one or two things in life. What a great message for our audience, and I'm glad I asked this question. And now, finally, you and your work is inspirational, and I would like many more people to get benefits for your expertise. So tell our audience what services you provide and how anyone can reach you.
So I, like you said, like how you introduced me, I'm a banker by profession and also a motivational speaker. So I go about in companies and in schools when they call me for motivational talks, and I speak about life and I speak about perspective and I speak about how you can change in breaking your habits and altering your mindset for a better future. So this is what because I want to encourage every single individual out there that all you have to do is a shift of your mind and how you think and how you see an adversity, and you do that 10 times. The 11th time, your mind is reprogrammed to not see that as a problem by default. You're going to see that as just another obstacle, where people see today as a big problem I cannot surpass. So, I want to show that to people, and I live it by my life. I live it every single day by staying alone. That is a constant proof to people that it is possible. You don't have to limit yourself. So I'm usually, my entire platform is on LinkedIn and Instagram. So yeah, people can reach out to me. Be more than happy to share my message.
Wow. I'm sure there are millions of people who can benefit from your wisdom. And also, thank you so much for giving time for our audience today to share such an inspiring and incredible journey.
Thank you, Pragya.
Thank you.